That's right. Hello, audience. I'm here with UFO Jack. Jack, how you doing?
Pretty good, Martin. How we doing?
Good, good. So thank you all for joining us. Let's see, we got some people in chat, and thank you all for being here. And tonight we're going to be talking about, well, it seems like everyone is talking about what Obama said the other day. And I thought we could make it interesting and just see how long this goes. And so I thought it was, I thought there's been such a huge reaction to this, and he was obviously joking, but there's a lot more to it than just that. So what was your take when you first saw it? I mean, I think I probably got like 20 or 30 emails and texts, right away.
Yeah, I'm included in that.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Don't ever apologize for that. No, I like to have information when it's seen out there.
For sure. I'll be honest, Martin, and feel free to laugh. I definitely, when I didn't see the interview. I just saw the clip, and I ate it up. Like, I thought it was real. I thought he like casually kind of just like let it slip. Like, oh yeah, like no big deal. When you see just the clip, I mean, I don't pretend to be the smartest knife in the drawer, but like, or the sharpest knife in the drawer. See, there you go. Like, I thought he was, I couldn't tell the sarcasm in the clip. Obviously, when you watch the clip and the statement that he came out on Instagram saying, that he was just joking in spirit of the lightning round or whatever the excuse was. But initially, Martin, I totally was bought in, totally thought it was real for like all of maybe, a few minutes there. But before I started like researching it further, obviously it was a joke, but man, it felt good to see that clip. I was like, what? Totally caught me by surprise. Just the way it was presented so casually, don't you think?
Yeah. He was always such a smooth talker, and he did like to joke a lot. Great speeches and all that. Could never say that against. And I just got to say a little disclaimer here because, Jack is gone. Not sure what happened. I'm sure he'll be back in just a minute, but that I try to stay apolitical in the show because, there can be a lot of friction. And let me just see if I can see what happened to Jack. Anyway, so I really don't like to go down that line of, but I will talk about something here's Jack. He's back. Jack, I think you're back. You having trouble with your internet or something?
Nope, sorry about that. I clicked the wrong button.
Oh, okay. So I was just saying that I try to stay apolitical, but this does involve politics today. I'm not going to say one side or the other. I like people guessing where I stand. I don't even care. I don't even watch the news anymore or anything like that. But anyway, I did hear this and I looked a little bit into it. And, Trump weighed in today, which was, I'm not even going to say my opinion about that. I just have to be careful on that. But I think one of the things I'd like to talk about today is my friend Ben Hansen. He's in Fact or Faked, UFO witness. I think that's what he's involved in these days. Very busy in Hollywood. And he's former FBI. He's done a lot of analysis of different presidents over the year that have been asked this question. And he does frame by frame. I remember when the first time I had met up with him and the first time when he went through the Jimmy Kimmel and President Obama, I can't remember the first time he was asked that, but I want to say it was 2015 or earlier maybe. And he said that he spent over 25 hours on just a small clip, frame by frame, analyzing the different things, respiration,
no way,
the beating of the heart, and you could see on Obama's neck and stuff like that. And just, some of that we'll bring up today. But he's not a specialist. He says that right up front. Matter of fact, I think I can play a clip. I'm going to give this a try and see what happens. We have some clips too, but this actually is going to be directly from YouTube. So cross your fingers and we'll see what happens.
Okay, here we go.
And personal habits of the individual. I'm also not considered an expert in the field of nonverbal language. With my background in criminal investigations, you could say that I'm just a guy with lots of experience conducting thousands of forensic interviews, and I'm summarizing the theories of researchers and the real experts. All right. So first, I'd like to thank Jimmy Kimmel for bringing up the UFO alien topic to both Clinton and Obama. It seems apparent that he has a personal interest in the subject, and his interviews have been very enlightening. Now, on the day of the Obama interview, the Los Angeles Times actually ran a story about Kimmel and whether he would ask Obama about aliens like he did Bill Clinton. The story provides readers a link to my video analysis on the former president. It's likely that Kimmel's production team picked up on the story and watched the Clinton analysis because Jimmy actually makes reference to my video during his interview with Obama.
Now, you know, there are a lot of people that are going to examine your facial expressions here, every twitch, everything, and say, and of course, so did you look? Did you see? Did you?
Yes, Jimmy, you're right. I am going to examine the facial expressions and every twitch. Would you expect anything less? So let's get started. Our first challenge is that we have a lot less to work with as far as material specifically addressing the UFO topic when compared to the Bill Clinton interview. The segment where Jimmy asks Obama about UFOs is less than a minute long, but Clinton conversed for nearly 3 minutes on the subject. The good news is the total interview with President Obama is over 30 minutes, so we can draw a good baseline reading from the extra content. Let's start from the beginning of the UFO segment. You're going to see President Obama sitting with his legs crossed, much in the same manner that Bill Clinton was sitting, but Clinton liked to grip the arms of the chair. Obama places his hands in his lap. Now, while it looks like the same upholstery as from the Clinton interview, Jimmy has done some remodeling because this is more of a love seat. So he doesn't have the...
Well, I'm going to bring us back in because we'll play more of that later, but you kind of get the analysis. Now, Ben's a good friend in California. He gave me permission to use whatever I want of his clips, do whatever I want. So we can play any of these. But I do have to hesitate a little bit when I'm playing other clips as far as copyright strikes and all that. But I am going to play some clips tonight. And so isn't it interesting? I actually took a body language course for a while. And I just thought it was really, because I thought it would help out in the UFO world. And it was actually taught by some people that were looking at they got interested in the UFO topic because, first of all, they did a show on Bob Lazar, which was very interesting. And I suggest anyone that is interested in whether Bob Lazar is, authentic or not, to check that out, the body language. And then they also did one on the Berkshire's UFO and all those people in that. And specifically Jane, the older woman, and they said that woman is telling the truth 100%. There's no doubt about it. So they were interested in the UFO, so I got to talking to them, and I ended up taking courses from them. It's really fascinating, all the little subtle things you never think about. I was watching something today, a woman talking about LBJ and the Kennedy assassination. And when she said something, her eye moved just quickly off to the side, just a little bit like that, real quick. And to me, that's a red flag. That's like, there's some reason why she did that. But it's what Ben says when he's doing this analysis is you have to have a baseline. You have to really know what the person is like in a normal talk. Maybe she does that little twitch with her eye all the time. I don't know.
Yep. And then even if it is like anomalous, kind of body behavior compared to whatever their baseline is, there's no way you're going to know what they were thinking, what they were like. There's so much you can deduce from it. I feel like it can be kind of subjective in terms of what is it actually telling you. Like, did they just have a bad day that day when they were giving this important testimony? I don't know. Did they have other things on their mind? You have no idea what's going on in someone's
That's
head.
right. Yeah, it could be a lot. Could be a lot of different things. So we don't want anyone to say anything derogative, please, about any of the presidents or anything like that. So I'm just going to keep an eye on chat. Yeah, chill it. This is about more about UFOs than anything else. And
Right.
yeah,
And flight safety.
that's right. Yeah. I think, where did I hear? I just heard something. I know you know Ryan Graves, and I just heard something about him today, which not him, but someone was using him as an example, the Tic Tac and all that. And so, but, I mean, and then if anyone has maybe watched my thing I did with Grok, I actually asked Grok about Obama and UFOs. We'll be playing that clip a little later. But anyone that watched my recent clip I just put out yesterday, Grok, which is an AI tool through X, thinks that the Nimitz case is the #1 UFO case. I thought that was pretty interesting. And because of the Navy pilots and, all that. And also, later brings up, I believe, the Ryan Graves, all the times that he claims that there were people spotting UFOs. However, that may have been, it's funny, I'm trying all these different AI chats. That may have been a different AI chat. I can't
There's a lot of
remember on that one. Yes. So I'd like to play a couple of clips. First of all, before we move on, this is a clip that Ben Hansen did for Bill Clinton a number of years ago when Jimmy Kimmel asked the same question of Bill. Just a little quick clip right here.
That they might be able to support some form of life. So it makes it increasingly less likely that we're alone.
Oh, you're trying to give me a hint that there are aliens.
Oh, I'm trying to tell you I don't know.
He actually nods his head yes in response to Kimmel's question. You're trying to give me a hint that there are aliens. Clinton immediately nods yes and then quickly says no. And the jaw clenching has returned. The take-home lesson is that Clinton's body is not telling the same story as his speech. We're back to uncomfortable Bill. Kimmel's seemingly harmless question that was delivered as a joke has again knocked the former president out of his comfort zone.
Very interesting, isn't it? How
Yeah.
you can have it look at the subtle things that tell a lot.
Absolutely. And what I don't remember the clip, but I think it was George Bush where he was asked on a nighttime on a night show years ago, and he got it was awkward the way he I don't know if he wasn't prepared for the question or what. But have you seen that clip, Martin? Does that ring a bell?
No, I can't. I do not believe I have. So
It was eerie.
also,
Yeah.
I did want to say, okay. So this is what Mendy is thinking. She thinks Trump was referring to the fact that Obama discussed Area 51, which is a highly sensitive location. I mean, you just mentioned it. I mean, that wouldn't be classified. Anyway, so I do believe we have a way to take phone calls, and I don't know if we want to dare to try that this evening.
Could be risky, Martin. Hey, it's your show.
Yeah.
You can always hang up if it goes south.
Well, I will say this: if people are watching this show and they have a hankering for calling in and discussing this without getting political,
Yes,
just type in the chat down there that you may be interested in, and then I'll just pull all the levers and do everything I'm doing here to try to get the phone to work. But I did test it today. Seems like it's going to work. Someone's saying hi to you. Cheers, UFO Jack. And so yeah, we have some people. We have someone from Australia in here, Texas, I do believe. And thank you all for being in here. And there is, that is one I'm not going to post a statement. But anyway, so what do you think about what a president knows and is told, and how much information they actually walk out of the presidency with?
I mean, as a layman, obviously, I would have no idea. Let me just start off with that. But I can certainly imagine and pontificate. And if I may, Martin, I would say, just like how everybody else says, they're just a temporary employee. And I think the real information is kept elsewhere. And I think the machine is running with something else pulling the levers. Sure, maybe the temporary employees do pull some temporary levers, if you want to call it that, within the giant machine that currently exists. But I think it's a lot more. If anything, my life has shown me, Martin, it's that the truth is never just black and white. There's a lot of, well, I shouldn't say that, but there's a lot of nuance with a lot of different things in this world. And that is certainly the case with the UFO topic. So I could imagine it being a little bit complicated, a little bit messy. Some people knowing some things, some people not knowing all the things, some people knowing nothing at all, and yet being on the same team or same area, same employment, what have you. So that's kind of my take. Obviously, a little bit of a non-answer, but also I feel like there's a lot of truth in that, especially with the level of classification that I would imagine would be involved with something like that. But I think it's fascinating nonetheless. How about yourself?
Yes, well, it's awful. It's awful hard to say what they are told and not told. When I was the first one. I know I've said this to you, the first one to interview Christopher Mellon, and way back in 2015, and I think it was that or 14. And I asked him the question, because he would know what a president can know and not know. And he says, if a president asks, he has to be told what is known he says, but it can be compartmentalized. Now, about a year and a half ago, when I was out in, where were we, Donna? Texas, I think it was, where I was the MC for the MUFON event out there, and I got to meet a retired FBI agent and a retired CIA agent. They were traveling together and attending a conference. And Donna scoped them out and got them talking and sat down with them. And I thought it was a real interesting take, especially the FBI agent said, the problem with 9/11 was that everything is stovepiped.
Right.
And so information it's compartmentalized in a way. That's what you'd say. And so one doesn't talk to the other. And they said that they're trying to correct that. So there's never, the same repeat of that. But so I personally think that the people that would have to answer to a president may not get all the information.
Yep, for sure. I could see that happening. Yep.
So I think it's time we should play another clip here. This is earlier of Obama. I'm not sure exactly what year this was. This is a little girl on the I can't remember, DeGeneres show, and she is a very bright young girl and has a question for Obama. It's pretty cute. Here it goes.
Talking to a small child. As we watch this again, this time look for how Obama's answer is more serious in tone on the alien question, bookended by two joke statements. If this feels a little deja vu, it's because he did many of the same things he did in the Jimmy Kimmel interview. We'll see a joke statement when he answers the question about the Book of Secrets. Then Macy asks the question, are aliens real? Instead of answering her, he deflects and redirects the question back to her and asks, what do you think? Then we'll hear him make another joke about the Book of Secrets. Finally, he'll answer Macy with some stuttering, delays, and every indication that the answer was precisely worded, but not directly answered.
So you have questions for the president? Yeah. This is a big moment. You can, whatever you want to ask. What's your first question?
So, is there really a Book of Secrets?
That's a secret.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, what kind of secrets would you want to know? What would be in the Book of Secrets?
If aliens are real.
Ah.
Well, what do you think?
Well, after watching this TV show, I think aliens are probably real.
Golly. Okay. Well.
Which TV show was that?
I think it's called, like, America's Book of Secrets.
There you go. There you go.
Well,
seems
like somebody spilled the secrets already.
I thought that was classified.
That's the Book of Secrets, and yet there's a TV show.
Yeah, well, the truth is, Macy, we haven't actually made direct contact with aliens yet. But when we do, I'll let you know.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Question, are aliens real? Answer, the truth is, Macy, we haven't actually made direct contact with aliens yet, but when we do, I'll let you know. It's close, but that's not an exact response to Macy's question. All of this is followed by a hard swallow before they move on to the rest of the interview. So even when participating in a semi-rigid interview format, we can see that Obama treats the alien topic different than he has in the past. While he jokes leading up to the question, there's a serious nature about his demeanor when he finally answers. It's a real shift in how he handles a subject now when compared to just a few years ago. Furthermore, we now have another instance of a contradictory statement from what he's previously said on the subject. In review, take a look at this evolution from a joking to a serious attitude and why there's also incongruence. If you remember when he was running for president, he made jokes about extraterrestrials when debating Senator Kucinich. Very understandable because it's not reasonable that he was in a position to know anything significant at the time. Then once he became president, his White House staff released an official statement in 2011 in response to an online petition for disclosure. In that statement, the White House denied that the U.S. government has hidden knowledge or evidence of an extraterrestrial presence. In 2012, he joked about aliens in Roswell and how he could reveal the secrets, but he'd have to kill you. Then on Jimmy Kimmel in 2015, he joked about aliens who won't let their secrets out, but then when pressed for an answer as to whether he looked into UFO files for the first time in public, he suddenly became gravely serious and said,
Explore.
I can't reveal anything.
Oh, really?
no president has ever said that about the UFO subject. Well, folks, if this is true that he can't reveal anything, why would he deliberately say this?
Yeah, well, the truth is, Macy, we haven't actually made direct contact with aliens yet.
The truth is, we haven't actually made direct contact with aliens yet. Is that not an act of revealing information? Less than a year after he can't reveal anything, and now he's revealing that we haven't made direct contact yet. Guys, words do mean something.
Well, I thought that was interesting. I wanted to include that.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Yeah. That girl was cute. So funny. She wanted to know the aliens right away. And I think I did hear that. I'm trying to think who the actor was. Yeah, it was his son. And it had to do with, I can't remember what it was, but he came in, the very first question he asked, okay, aliens real or what? But that one didn't get recorded. It was just, written up or something. But anyway, that was great. I would like to see if anyone has any questions for us in regards to this. Hello, everyone in chat. And we are going to try our phone number at some point. So it doesn't have to be this show. But what do you say? Do you want me to go a little further into one of the clips? Or do you want to talk a little bit more about what we think presidents know and don't know, like today? I mean, you would think that if our president today could say it, he would say it. I think he's the type of guy that would just say it.
Yeah, a lot of people say that, but to me, I don't see it happening. I don't think if it were real, I don't think anybody would say it. I don't know if that's too pessimistic or what, but I don't know why I feel that way, but I just feel like there's no way. I think we would be, I don't want to say naive, but I just think if it did happen, that would be incredible. But I just don't think it would ever, to make that kind of a mission. I just don't think it would happen. I think it would rock the boat too much, and you don't want to. That's not something you want to do in that kind of a position. If anything, you want to maintain some kind of status quo. I would think, as a layman, but then again, what do I know? Nothing. So,
well, he may be told, and other presidents may be told, okay, we do know this, but it's classified, and you absolutely can never reveal it. But then again, I heard that a president can declassify whatever he wants. I don't know if that's the law, if that's true or not. Maybe someone in chat can chime in on that if they know the answer to that. But so I would say that if it's to our president now, to his advantage for some reason, I would think that he would go ahead and say something.
Right. Yeah, and to be honest with you, Martin, I'm glad that it's happening anyways, especially with how it was said by Barack Obama, and even just the most recent clip that just, I think, hit the airwaves with our current president. At least like it's the topic's getting talked about. I feel like it's kind of funny in the kind of world that we live in now, Martin. We're in a space where, like, I speak about this topic from my perspective, which is I saw something that was about 200 feet away from me in a very rural town. And it was nothing that like would fit into a neat little box that you and I would call life of things that we deal with on a day to day. And on top of that, we've got, I mean, you have had guests on your show for what, 14, 15 years now, who are experts in the field talking about the research that they've done, cases that they've researched. People present you with photographs all the time that are very old and probably hard to fake with UFOs in them. Witness testimony up the wazoo, everywhere on the internet, on your show, on every other show. I think even now, today, we have congressmen and women coming on podcasts and talking about the topic and even sharing what they've seen in skiffs in terms of the vague descriptions that they're allowed to give legally in terms of, like, I think we have Representative Luna saying that she's actually seen photographic evidence, maybe video, I don't remember, of things that she would say like were, how did she describe it? Interdimensional. Obviously it wasn't something normal, but like, obviously she's seen firsthand evidence. So it's just, and then now we have presidents talking about it and it's really making the rounds. And you have the Tedesco brothers doing their thing down in Rhode Island with all of that sensor data. I think even the state of New Jersey just approved and voted and finalized on something like $2 or $3 million dedicated to give to universities to study the topic. And I think has another legislative body that they're putting together. I don't know if they've put their money where their mouth is yet on the topic like New Jersey has. But I mean, it's just kind of like, you don't throw $2 million at a subject to give to universities to study if it's all hoopla and fake. You know what I'm saying? That's like some of the things that kind of come to my mind when I heard that Obama clip on Brian Cohen's podcast, and now with our current president giving a brief comment on the news headlines that Obama made with his UFO comments. So I just think I think all the data is out there. I think it's silly to think that there's nothing to it. As an experiencer, if you want to call it that, who has been 200 feet away from one myself, I definitely could say that it wasn't anything normal within our daily lives that I could fit it into a neat little bucket. It was in the other unknown category. And I think it's interesting that with my own sighting, you know, you kind of have these situations where, like, I went looking for answers, and seeing red orbs is not an uncommon sighting of experiencers who have seen UFOs. Like, I didn't know that at the time of my sighting, but like seeing a red orb isn't necessarily uncommon in the UFO for those who have experienced UFOs. It's like a more common one to see. When I kind of found that out, I was kind of bummed. I was like, oh, it seems so cool, but I guess it's really not that uncommon. So I just think it's all very interesting, but those are the things that come to mind when we hear our leaders making statements like this. I think it's fascinating. It brings all those emotions and speculations and all of that data that's currently out there. We live in such a data-rich environment. I think people need to be reminded of how much information actually is out there. I know recently I attended the UAP Summit conference, teleconference with Reed Summers, I think his name is.
Yes.
Can't remember his last name, but
that's him. Yeah.
Richard Dolan was going on a tear. He was going on a heater, basically kind of just speaking his mind about how we have all the data's already out there, but it's not moving the needle, so to speak. And there is a lot of information out there. And I just think it's great to see it happening. And I always laugh at myself thinking that I thought Obama was serious when I saw that clip.
Yeah. Well, you know, there's a lot really to unpack. Well, Mendy wanted to know how large the orb was that you saw, approximately.
Mendy, I was 200 feet away from it. So I'll give you two like estimate. So when it had its light on, it was a glowing red and white pulsating light. I couldn't really separate the white from the red, if that makes any sense. I'm describing something that I don't know what it is, so bear with me there. But when the light was turned on, when it was glowing, it was probably about half the size of a sedan, just like floating in the air. And I followed it in my car for maybe like a quarter mile before it stopped over someone's house. But then, Mendy, the other size estimate that I would give you from 200 feet away was when it shut its light off. It was just a small dark center mass with like a squiggly line, dark line going around it. And that was smaller than half a sedan. That was maybe like that. I felt like it could have sat in like the driver's seat of a standard car. Like that kind of, like if you could picture that, like a dark random void of light sitting in a car. But anyways, on a single seat. So Mendy, I hope that helps answer your questions.
Yeah, excellent. So a couple of things I was thinking about when you were talking about all you just were just a few minutes ago. And one of them is, the government has admitted that there are things floating around the sky that they do not know what they are.
Yep.
So,
right.
but here's the thing: if they know more than they're saying, and it's not our adversaries, why should it be classified? I mean, this is a puzzle for me. I wondered why something that it could be revealed, then why is it classified if it's not national security?
Yeah, and I think the explanation that I feel like we usually read about, and I don't know how true this is today, but I think it was public panic, right? They just didn't want people to lose control.
I think that's true. I think they did say that, years ago, but I don't believe that would be the case. I think we've had this type of soft disclosure type of thing for quite a few years now that I don't think anyone's going to be shocked if we all of a sudden found out that, there's intelligent life out there. You know what I forgot to do? I forgot to play the clip that started this whole thing. So I'm gonna do that right now. Oh, here we go.
Oh, yeah.
They're real, but I haven't seen them, and they're not being kept in what is it?
Area 51.
Area 51. There's no underground facility unless there's this enormous conspiracy, and they hid it from the President of the United States.
Just posted. He walks it back. What do we have to do? I got to take us out or something. I don't know exactly. But anyway,
you have it on the background. Yeah.
Yeah. It's in the background, wrong place. All right. But anyway, he walked it back, and I just don't, you don't hear any more about it, really. And the thing you do when you're trying to do damage control is you just hope it kind of goes quiet and goes away. But a lot of people are rehashing, the whole thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. And Martin, as you're talking, I'm trying to pull up the George Bush clip. I'm trying to figure out what minute mark it's at, but I'm getting bogged down with ads on YouTube. I don't pay for premium, but the other thing I wanted to mention too, Martin, that I forgot to mention when I went on that mini rant there was not only do we have congressmen and women coming on podcasts and speaking about the topic and what they've seen, and they've been on your show too, Martin. One, yeah, but still a pretty big one. And then, a very outspoken advocate on the topic, I should say, probably a better way to say that. But even now, Wall Street, Martin, their ticker symbol UFOD. Like, hello, like what are we doing? Like, what's going on? Like, why is everybody dancing around it? And I think, like, even pilots today, like, I feel like there's probably still stigma out there. I know there's stigma for me, just amongst friends, as a layman, as a citizen, non-military, not a pilot, just to talk about it. You get laughed at. I mean, I don't really care about it at this point in my life, but that is still very much a thing, even though it's much less than what it used to be. At least people don't think you're a whack job, but they're going to make fun of you for sure. And if you have some kind of different career, who knows, maybe it could could affect your career aspirations. I know you and I have talked about that in the past as well, Martin, with your situation too. So I think it's all very interesting.
Yeah, I think, like you said, today's a lot different than it was, when I first started the show in 2011. But today, I'm much more comfortable. And like you said, I agree. I could care less what people think and do
Right.
talk about it. But
Right.
when you're in mixed company, I would say that it feels like more people are agreeing that there's something going on than the ones that'll laugh at you.
Okay.
That's what I
it.
think. Yeah.
Good take. All right. All
And
right, Martin.
I think there's something like 65%. The last poll was taken. I do believe that 65%. I don't want to say believe in UFOs, but realize that there's something happening that we don't understand in the sky, and it's not just make believe, tinfoil hats, all that stuff.
Right. Absolutely. And you know what fascinates the most for me too? I mean, the whole topic does. I keep saying that. Everything's fascinating as it relates to this stuff. But the Tedesco brothers down in Long Island, I mean, with the data that they've collected with their sensors, I feel like your everyday human being on this planet isn't necessarily thinking about all of the different ways in which, or the limited ability we have with our human eyeballs to see in the world. We only see through a specific band of light. And correct me if I'm wrong, experts on the internet in the chat, and yourself too, Martin, but I'm pretty sure it's limited. And tying it back to the Tedesco brothers, they're seeing orbs of light, like I've seen orbs, or an orb, where they're not seeing it with the naked eye, but they're picking it up on infrared. So like, for all we know, Martin, when you step out the front door, who's to say there isn't anything up there every day? We just can't see it. It's like, how do you tell, what's that old saying that I heard after I started looking into this topic? How do you tell a fish to see water, when they're born in it, kind of thing? It's like the same thing with us. We can't imagine if we could walk around seeing every single spectrum of light. Like, you wouldn't be able to walk. It would be so disorientating, or maybe you'd get used to it after a while. But like night vision, infrared, all that stuff. And I'm not an engineer or have any expertise in the scientific realm, so to speak, any more specificity than that. But I'm sure there's a much more eloquent way to put that. But I think you understand the gist that I'm saying.
Okay. So AI is taking over. Alexa was just talking in the other room. I was hearing it come in here.
Alexa
just randomly started talking. So, and speaking of that, when I had a conversation with UFOs with Grok yesterday, basically came up with this phrase, two phrases I loved, and one of them was, let's see, maybe there's a layer in the sky we're not able to see. I can't remember the exact wording, but when it was trying to explain UFOs, maybe there's a layer in the sky that we can't see. I mean, that's quite a statement. And also about the Ariel school children, what they went through and everything. And Grok said, well, maybe they got a backstage pass to something much bigger. I mean, what a great phrase that is. I thought that was great. But anyway, we have a clip here too. I'm going to play. I might as well, play this clip because about, I don't know, maybe 10 people sent this to me today. So I'll play a little bit of it, a few seconds of it. Here we go.
Yeah,
Something that got a lot of attention this week. Barack Obama said that aliens are real. Have you seen any evidence of non-human visitors to Earth?
Well, he gave classified information. He's not supposed to be doing that.
So aliens are real?
Well, I don't know if they're real or not. I can tell you he gave classified information. He's not supposed to be doing that. He made a big mistake. He took it out of classified information. No, I don't have an opinion on it. I never talk about it. A lot of people.
That was his statement anyway.
Yeah.
Take it as you will. Again, I'm not going to go on one side or the other, but I didn't really understand what would be classified. There's no real classified information.
Yeah, I didn't really either. I know Mendy had some thoughts in the chat. I don't know if anybody else did, but yeah, I thought that was interesting, an interesting comment for sure.
Yeah. Well, it just kind of shows you how viral that one statement became, and I wonder how viral it did go. I mean, there's no way to really measure that, but it just seems like, that
It
was,
blew up.
it
Yep.
blew up. Yeah. Good for the podcaster, right?
Oh yeah, he definitely knew what he was doing. He clipped that up so fast, I'm sure. I know I would.
Yeah. Oh, that's funny. Well,
Yeah.
I think that's probably going to about do it for us tonight. Any last statement you want to make, Jack, about this whole situation?
No, I think you pretty much summed it up, Martin. Thanks for having me on. Appreciate it.
Yeah, and thank you all for being here in chat. I do appreciate it. And let me just see if there's one more thing. I think, well, I do have the Grok take on this. So should I play that? What the take of AI thinks about the whole Obama thing and all that. What do you think?
Sure.
Might as well run that. All
Yeah,
right,
run it.
we'll run that and then we'll call it a night. Here it goes. Hey, Grok, how are you?
Hey, doing great. How about you?
I'm doing good. I'm talking to my audience tonight about President Obama's recent comment just a couple of days ago with Brian Tyler Cohen about he knows that aliens are real, but he hasn't seen them yet, or something along those lines. And then he walked it back afterwards. And I know there's a lot of people that think it was just all in joking, but if you look at how many times he's been asked this question over the years, Jimmy Kimmel and many other shows, sometimes he gets pretty intense about it, or tensed up, I should say. And my friend Ben Hansen, former FBI, has done a lot of analysis of when Obama has been asked that question. Just your overall thoughts, if you would.
Yeah, that clip from the Brian Tyler Cohen podcast about 5 days back now definitely stirred things up. Obama was in a quick fire round, super casual, and when asked, "Are aliens real?" he just goes, "They're real, but I haven't seen them." Then jokes about no secret Area 51 stash unless everyone's hiding it from him. Laughter all around. Felt like he was playing along with the bit. Then boom, he posts on Instagram right after. Basically, "Hey, universe is huge, life probably out there statistically, but no evidence we've been visited, and zero during my presidency. Straight up clarification, no hedging." So yeah, he walked it back fast, but not like he was panicked, just keeping it real. On the body language stuff, Ben Hansen's done some deep dives over the years, right? Like on Kimmel, Ellen, those moments where Obama pauses, smiles tight, or shifts tone. Hansen reads it as tension, maybe knowing more than he lets on, or just dodging the trap of sounding nuts. Could be. But honestly, Obama's always been smooth. Those intense vibes might just be him not wanting to fuel conspiracy nuts while staying chill. Presidents get briefed on everything weird. Doesn't mean they believe ET's phoning home. Overall, fun viral moment, but it tracks with his old answers. Probable life somewhere, no proof here. No big reveal, no cover-up slip. Just Obama being Obama. Wry, careful, maybe a little amused. What do you think? Joke? Or did he let something real slip?
Well, it makes you wonder what he may really know. It's whether it's something that is compartmentalized and kept from him, a need to know type of situation. It's all just, speculation. But he seems to have been asked that question more than other presidents. And I do, after you reply to this, please reply to looking into, Trump had chimed in today, kind of saying that Obama spilled classified information, which of course is not true.
Let me check what Trump said today. Yeah, it's wild how that one offhand line, "they're real," just exploded. And you're right, Obama gets hit with the alien question way more than most presidents. Like, Jimmy Kimmel grilled him back in 2015. Ellen too. He'd laugh it off, say something like, "I can't talk about that," but you could see the pause, the little eye shift. Ben Hansen's breakdowns, spot on. He flags those micro expressions as classic deflection, maybe from briefing fatigue or just not wanting to sound like a tinfoil hat guy. Could be compartmentalized, sure. Presidents aren't in every black site vault. But honestly, if there was real intel, he'd probably play it cooler than that. As for Trump today, yep, he jumped on it aboard Air Force One, told reporters Obama gave classified information and made a big mistake. Didn't explain what part was classified, just kind of smirked and said, he's not supposed to be doing that. Classic Trump. Turns a joke into a scandal. No proof needed. But come on, Obama's clarification was instant. No evidence, no visitors, no Area 51 stash. Trump's basically trolling, not dropping bombshells. If anything, it shows how fast this stuff gets weaponized politically. You think Obama's hiding something deeper, or just tired of the same old gotcha?
I'm not really sure. It's a very curious. With the statements you just made, I try to stay apolitical on this show. So we'll see what type of feedback I get. But I do appreciate your comments.
Totally get it. Keeping it neutral's smart, especially on UFO stuff. People get fired up fast. Glad you liked the take. If you ever want to bounce more ideas off me, Obama, Trump, whoever, just say the word. Good luck with the audience tonight.
All right, Grok. Thank you.
Anytime. Catch you later.
Well, that was the chime in. It's interesting. You never know what it's going to say, but it's all good.
I just want AI to tell me. That's disclosure.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what? I have brought this up when I've talked to people in regards to AI. I do believe that will be a possible, pivotal way to figure out a lot more about what these things are. In some way, it sure will.
Yeah, it'll definitely crack the code. I feel like it can't be long.
It feels like it, but it's felt like that for some time. But it does feel like that's very much a possibility. So just for everyone, come back next Tuesday. We have Bryce Abel and Brent Freeman. It's a great show. It's premiering. I had to pre-record with them because they were together in one location. So I did that, and it's a great interview. You're going to love it. So thanks so much, Jack. I really appreciate you being here.
Thanks, Martin.
We'll be back talking again, maybe in another month or something like that. Always good to have you on.
Yep. All right. Thanks,
All
chat.
right.
See you guys.
See ya, and stay warm, Jack. I know it's kind of cold up there.
Yes.
I'm soon to be back. Yeah. All right. For a couple of days. All right. Take care.